Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Monica and I'm also known as GeeksAGogo, and I'm here to show you a makeup tutorial. For today's makeup, it is inspired by the Dark Phoenix from the X-Men universe, of course from Marvel Comics, and I'm so excited to show you guys how to attain this look. Before we begin, I would like to thank Madison Area Public Library for inviting me once again to become a guest to their virtual event. I was a guest last year and I had so much fun. Alright guys, let's get started. So I went on ahead and put some foundation on as well as put some primer onto my skin. I also put some concealer under my eyes and I put some loose powder underneath. That way I get all my skin prepared before I do my actual eye makeup. Okay, before we start applying our eyeshadow into our eyelids, I normally put an eyeshadow primer. And this one's from Urban Decay. So you basically just grab the spool and gently put it onto your eyelids. And I tend to go a little bit more upward as well, because I do add a lot of color like right close to where my eyebrows are. Now, using your ring finger, which is your weakest finger in your hand, you gently tap on that primer and just spread it around evenly into your eyelids, just like this. Now to apply your eyeshadow powder, you can go whichever you're more comfortable doing. I tend to go light to dark, and some people do it the opposite way. It's really up to you. It's really depending on what you're comfortable doing. So just go ahead and do that. But another thing that I do is, aside from starting from the light color, I always start on my left eye because that is my less dominant side. And I tend to make mistakes if I start with the right because I get it all nice and perfect. So let's start on this eye. After you have a little bit of yellow eyeshadow powder onto your brush, go on ahead and apply it to your eyelid. Now, Dark Phoenix has fire as part of her superpower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make fiery eyes, and I'm going to start with a really nice yellow base color. And as you can see, I'm just applying it like really lightly, just doing small taps. Don't worry if it starts looking messy, you're going to clean it up later. After the yellow, to continue with our fiery look, I'm going to go for an orange hue. And again, I'm just doing some really light tapping onto my eyelids just for this color. Alright, up next we're gonna go for a red color. In between putting colors into your eyelids, make sure to clean up your brushes. I use this thing here that I got from Amazon, and it actually helps get all of that excess color from your brush and remove it. That way you can apply your color and not smudge that previous color into it. In this case, it doesn't really matter so much because we're doing like kind of like a gradient look with this, so it should be alright if they like blend a little bit. But if you're transitioning from one color to a little bit more of a different color, it's really important. Even actually if you have a different brush just for that particular hue, that would be great. Okay, now we're gonna go and look for a darker orange color and blend it in. I tap out any excess powder in my brush and just slowly blend in my colors. When you do your blending, it is really important that you have a really light hand. If you have a hard time controlling your brush, you can always lean your finger on your cheek to help guide your brushing. If you think your colors aren't blended up enough, you can always go back and get that same color, that in-between color, and just keep blending it in until you're satisfied. Now I'm gonna mirror the same colors right underneath my eye, right here. So again, starting with the yellow. Once again, I'm just tapping it really gently and try not to get any of the color into your eyes. And what you do is you start sweeping this upwards and connect that red hue that you brushed on earlier. And again, don't worry if it gets messy, we are going to clean it up soon. Okay, now using a flat headed brush like this one, I'm going to grab some foundation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up my lines. And while I'm cleaning up my lines, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start creating some sort of like a flame effect onto my eyelids. Go, so you can kind of see the flames forming already. Just keep cleaning out the eyeshadow until you're satisfied. If you need to use your fingers to clean it out, you can do that as well. And also try to clean up close to your eyebrows. With another flathead brush, I'm going to start doing my eyebrows. So for this color, I'm going to pick a dark orange color. That way it will match the wig that I'll be wearing. What I like about using eyeshadow as an eyebrow filler is it's easier to take off, plus the fact that it looks a lot more natural. With the same brush that you used earlier with the foundation for cleaning up your flames, go on ahead and grab that same brush and clean out your eyebrows. Now we're going to add a little bit more depth onto the flames on your eyes by using a little bit of shadow. So what I'm going to do is, instead of using black as my undertone color, I am actually going to be using a little bit of a dark brown color. So let me go on ahead and do that. Okay, your eyes are actually almost done at this point. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add a little bit of highlight. For the highlights, I'm going to be using a white eyeshadow. So I'm going to go back to where I cleaned up my detailing for the flames and just brush in some of that white eyeshadow. Just gonna add a little bit more of the dark shadow in here. I'm gonna grab a white eyeliner and line underneath my eyes. Now if you're not comfortable doing this, you can definitely skip this part. Brilliant. Okay, so now I'm actually going to get a liquid eyeliner that is in a white color. And I'm just going to draw a triangle on my inner corner of my eyes. Okay, now I'm going to grab a black eyeliner and emphasize lines around my face. So I'm going to start with my eyelash line here. And basically draw a line closest to where your eyelashes are. Also do the same under your eye. Okay, now we're gonna line the inner corners of our eye where we did all of our triangles. And if you make mistakes, don't worry, you can always clean it up. Okay, now I'm gonna add wing liner into my eyelids, which is one of the hardest things I ever do in makeup. So despite me being used to wearing makeup, this is always one of the things that I have difficulty doing. Again, I start with my left because it's my left. My left is my less dominant side, so as always, I'm going to start on my left. Okay, now we're going to trace the flames. And this one will require you to have a really light hand. So the lighter your hand, the better. The less pressure that you put on your hand, the better. For these, I tend to use liquid liner just because it's just easier to apply. Plus, it gives that really, really black, vivid color. Try to make even lines as much as possible when you're tracing the flames. Okay, now I'm going to clean up my powder that I have from baking earlier. And that's when you put setting powder on top of your concealer for under your eyes to get rid of the dark eye bags in your skin here. So I'm going to go on ahead and brush that off, and I'm going to add some contouring before I move forward with putting more outlines around my face. Now that I have my contour in, I'm also going to add some highlights around my face. I'm also going to put a little bit of a highlight right here on my nose. That's part of like the shiny part of your face, or where a lot of the highlight goes. Over here too, I'm going to add a little bit. So you basically focus on the parts of your face where light catches the most. If you're unsure, all you have to do is go to a very well lit area and kind of just tilt your face, and you basically kind of see where the light hits your face the most. It's the most elevated parts of your face, basically. A little bit around my chin here. And I'm starting to look a little bit more cartoony than usual. Okay, so now back to the outlining. Now, outlining can be really hard, especially if your eyeliner is dying down. So what you're going to do is, now that you've done all of your outlining, you know, your eyeliner and everything, you're going to highlight in the deeper sections of your face. So I'm going to go on ahead and start with my brows. And I'm going to trace my brows. Go and look at where I have deep shadows around my face. So if I do like this, if I squint a little bit, I can do like lines right here. And then around my nose. draw some outline under my nose here to make it look like it's drawn over. Okay, and then a little bit in the middle. And then right on your upper lip too, you're going to add a few lines to kind of just draw out this area over here. I'm going to add some lines around your cheek. Give yourself some cheekbones. So what I do is I just find that shadow and draw that line, and then I'm going to do the same for other side of the face. There we go. And then now your chin and your neck. So let me move my hair real quick here. Now that you have all of your outline in, now it's time to do the highlights. But first, I'm going to do a quick lip color. I'm going to go on ahead and trace my lips first with some lip liner. And this will definitely help guide you with where to put your lipstick in. And then I'm going to grab a lip gloss and go on top of that. And actually can grab a little bit of pink eyeshadow and go right in the very middle. And that's to lighten it up even more. Alright, so now that you've done your lip section, you're going to go and grab your eyeliner again. And now this time you're going to line your lips. Finish this makeup look by adding more highlights. This part here, you don't really have to overdo it. You can just do a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to be the same highlight on this side of the face and this side of the face. What matters is you kind of just have these random highlights to just make it look like you just popped out of the comic book. Hey, this look is coming along really well. Alright, so you can stop here. You can add lashes, which I'm going to do real quickly, but I'm going to be extra because that's just how I do my cosplay, so I'll be right back. Here I am in full cosplay for Phoenix. Well everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed watching me put my makeup on and looking like a real life comic book character. I would like to thank Madison Area Public Library for inviting me to do this tutorial. You can catch me at GeeksAGogo on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Once again, my name is Monica, also known as GeeksAGogo. See you next time.